Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are talking about the new moon. It's on July 24. It's at 2 degrees of Leo. It's making an opposition to Pluto, a sextile to Uranus, and a trine to Saturn and Neptune. And if that sounds like it's intense, you are correct. It is. Let's talk about it. Now, before I go too much into the new moon, I did want to mention an upcoming date, and that is August 8th. August 8 is the Lion's Gate, and I've done a video in the past about this, but this upcoming Lion's Gate energy is going to be quite different. And that is because the minor grand trine is going to shift into a kite pattern because Mars will be in early degrees of Libra. That is a very intense configuration. I'm going to talk about it in a video, but I wanted to give you a heads up just in case I didn't get that video out in time, that a few days before August 8 and a few days after, and of course August 8 itself, be mindful when you are out in the world. So now let's talk about this new moon in Leo making an opposition to Pluto, and this is an exact opposition. And an opposition energy is quite different than a square. In an opposition energy, there's kind of a projection of your issues onto the other person and vice versa. And so this can, when you don't trust someone, you might think that they are not trusting you, or in other situations, this could be the thief that accuses other people of stealing, or the cheater who says that their partner is cheating. So with this new moon as an opposition to Pluto, everybody is trying to set a boundary or a border and saying, do not cross this line. And at the same time, they are crossing the line. And so the idea is that you are walking across a person's line and setting a border telling them not to cross that line. And so, of course, that's really intense energy, and we're seeing that play out in the world already. But for you personally, this could be very useful energy because as an individual, you can make choices, whereas the group sometimes can't. So the opportunities that you have are based on the sextile to Uranus, which gives you a whole bunch of other paths that you can take to your destination. And you have Saturn with Neptune, and that's a trine to this new moon. And that is the energy of having this blueprint of what it is that you want to accomplish, or the life that you're trying to create. In the world astrology, what we call mundane astrology, there is a big push to try to establish borders or boundaries. But those borders or boundaries might be in somebody else's territory. And then the other people get upset about that, and no one with this opposition is willing to compromise. But in your individual life, you can make changes. And that is that first you identify what's no longer working in your life, what is dead and needs to be buried. That's the Pluto. Then with the sextile to Uranus, you can figure out all of these new paths that are opening up for you. And then the Neptune and Saturn combination helps you establish a real direction for yourself. But the loudest voice here is going to be Pluto. So the bottom line here is that Pluto is going to reveal what it's going to take to empower you to gain what you want. Uranus then offers you different paths to get to that point, and Saturn and Neptune give you the steps in order to get there. And this is a great opportunity for you because to have all of these major planets line up with this new moon is very rare. And so over this next 2 weeks, you can make a lot of progress. And of course, if you would like some help with this and you want to know what's up ahead for you in 2025 and 2026, I do readings. There's a link in the description. Okay, Pisces, this new moon energy is lighting up your area of daily routines. And so this can mean that you're falling into a very nice, pleasant routine, that you are finding the right things to eat, the time to exercise, the time to spend with family and friends, and you're getting things done. Where the power is, where you might be afraid to go, is to incorporate a daily spiritual practice that brings the whole universe and a greater purpose into your life. This can feel like, hey, my life's okay, and I don't want to rock the boat, where the universe may have a calling for you, may have a higher purpose for you, and you can discover that through prayer and meditation or magic. But that can be scary because it could, disrupt your life. Now, I don't know that the universe is going to come down and tell you to build an ark and collect 2 of every animal or something like that, but it may be something where you just start using some specific herbs in your cooking. And you do them for prosperity or health or to promote love. Or you start to do a daily meditation, maybe just 5 minutes, and listening for what the universe has to say. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, you're doing some good energy. You're a little bit hidden, but the energy is very positive, so that if you can be seen, if we can get you out in the world, then you have a good chance of meeting someone for a love relationship. Now, it's also very possible that you could meet someone at work or someone in your daily life. So that would be, the barista or the person who goes to the same coffee shop as you. That is also very good energy right now. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, Mercury's retrograde, and it's not making an aspect with Neptune. It's only making a semi-sextile with Jupiter. So the energy here is that the 2 of you could be bumping heads on some old matter. And it's minor. It's like, that they don't hit the hamper in the right way, or they, squeeze the toothpaste from the middle. There's something, it's small, but it does need to be worked out, and you have this opportunity to work it out. But it's something also that you can just kind of glide over, and then it'll come up on the next Mercury retrograde. Now, when it comes to your money, you pull money from Mars, which is sitting on the South Node, which does indicate that someone from your past could be coming back to offer you something financial. That could be an old boss or a colleague you worked with before, and they are offering you some sort of job. This could be customers returning, an idea for a partnership coming back, or this could be somebody from even a past life who owes you, and that opens some doors for you. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, there is something you need to fight for. And that is that something really needs your attention, whether that's your website or how your orders are going out or you're dealing with your broker. And when you deal with that, then the money flows in. So there's something that the universe says, this is important, you need to work on this. And when you do, good things happen. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be a paycheck, there's no aspect going on between Saturn and Mars. And it's not surprising. Hardly any of the signs had anything that showed a raise or an easy increase in their job. And in general, when that happens, that means that the economy is not in a place to give most people a raise. So there's a lot of energy here in your chart about making your financial picture a little bit more solid, and that is through your efforts. So it's very important during this time that you put your name on your reports, that you stand up at the meetings, that you tell people the contribution that you're making. I think that can help give you a solid platform on which to build the case for a raise when this energy does line up, which it will in the future. Okay, this is the third section of this video, and I have a couple of quick announcements, and then we're going to continue talking about finding the hidden money in your chart. I teach a free class once a month. It is on August 1st. It's at 12 p.m. Pacific time. It's by Zoom. It's called New Month Wishes, and what we do is we talk about the astrological happenings that are going to be occurring over the course of the month, and then we write our monthly wishes together, and then we do a short meditation to energize them together. The class is about an hour. It's really fun. There is a link to register in the description so you can get the Zoom link and join us. And then members of this channel get exclusive access to special videos, deep dive videos, and videos about other topics. And so if you're interested in joining and becoming a member, the join button is by the subscribe button. So let's continue our discussion about finding the hidden money in your chart. And by the way, I do have a video course on this topic. There's a link in the description. So last time we talked about finding your money planet based on the sign that was on the second house cusp. And so hopefully you now know that planet. Now you have more than one money planet, but this is the one that is associated with the second house. And by the way, if you are uncertain about which planet that is for you, you can send me your info. I will send you a PDF of your chart. Just put into the subject line that you want to know your money planet. So last time we talked about the different sources of money that could come to you based on the position of that money planet. This time I want to talk about the actions that you can do to uncork the blocks that you might have when it comes to making money. So we're going to start with kind of an overview, and then in future videos we can chunk down and get to more specifics. But we're going to start by dividing our chart into just 4 pieces, and that'll be 4 quadrants. So the first quadrant would be houses 1, 2, and 3. Second quadrant would be 4, 5, and 6. A third quadrant would be 7, 8, 9. And then the fourth quadrant would be 10, 11, 12. So in that last video, I outlined how to find your money planet. So hopefully you still know where that is. And so you are going to find what quadrant that money planet is in. So you're going to go to your second house cusp, look at the sign, and then find the planet that rules that sign. And I'm calling it your money planet just for the sake of this video to make it simpler. But this planet, of course, does other things in your chart, and it potentially rules other houses, it rules other things. And so, but right now we're focusing on the money side. So if your money planet falls in the first quadrant, so that would be first house, second house, or third house, then it's very important that you deal with money blocks and then take an action towards making more money. And so by money blocks, I mean there might be a fear of failure, a fear of success, a fear of talking to people about money matters, or being angry with money, or having some effects from childhood still affect you now when you are making money. All of these types of things can be considered money blocks. And then blocks like this are removed by doing things like tapping, hypnosis, journaling, talking to someone who is, doing some sort of therapy. And so once you have looked at what the block is and done what you can to remove it, then go take an action in the world. And that will really open the money floodgates. So the bottom line is you clear the issue, then take an action. And if another issue comes up, you clear that and then take an action. Now, if your money planet falls in the 4th house, 5th house, or 6th house, and that would be the second quadrant, then it is all about you interacting with others by doing the things that you do well. That is, you go do the things that bring you joy, you do the things that are helpful to others, and that opens the money floodgates for you. So in other words, if you are of service to others, if you help others, but by doing the things that you enjoy doing, that creates this joyful energy that opens the money floodgates. If your money planet falls in the 3rd quadrant, that would be houses 7, 8, or 9, then you open the money floodgates through collaboration. And that means that as you meet more people, as you connect with people, you have more money opportunities. And so starting out, the collaboration could be something super tiny, like saying hi to someone as you pass them on the street, or helping a stranger unlock a shopping cart. But ultimately what this is supposed to lead to is to business collaborations and connections where people help you get a job, or help you get a promotion, or help you expand your business. And so basically meeting a lot of people and connecting with a lot of people opens the money floodgates for you. So if your money planet falls in the 4th quadrant, so that would be houses 10, 11, or 12, then it's about being part of the community. That's the one that will open the money floodgates for you. And so that can be everything from, going and working at the local coffee shop to actually being an influencer, or, joining meetup groups, or starting your own meetup group, going into professional organizations and doing network that way, going to conventions and conferences, or actually getting to a point where you're speaking at those conferences. But it starts with something very simple, and even like when you're stuck on the freeway, to think about all of the people in all the cars around you, and that is your community. And as you are in your community, then you are recognized, and that opens the money floodgates. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any astrological questions you want me to cover on this channel, please let me know. Consider subscribing to the newsletter. The newsletter is a weekly overview of the aspects that are going to be happening, and it has some really cute pictures of black cats. And so if you like black cats, it's really good to subscribe, and that subscription's free. And I will see you in the next video.